Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Muhammad Taylor. This is the second in the video series we are making on how to write a thesis report using Microsoft Word. In the last video we created a document and named it My Report. We splitted that document into two sections and we applied different page number formattings to each of the sections. In this video we are going to look at heading styles and table of contents. Heading styles refer to the hierarchical arrangement of the contents of your thesis, and in Microsoft Word we have them represented in the form of heading 1 style, heading 2, heading 3, etc. etc. Heading 1 styles refer to the main chapter titles in your document. For example, chapter 1 introduction, chapter 2 literature review, chapter 3, etc. etc. Heading 2 refer to the major sections under your heading 1. For example, in chapter 1 introduction you can have something like 1.1 background of the study. So 1.1 background of the study or background to the study is a heading 2 style. 1.2 also is a heading 2 style. 1.2 can be problem statement. 1.3 objectives of the study are all examples of heading 2 styles. A heading 3 style is a subsection under a heading 2 style. So if we have under the chapter 1, we have also under background of the study another subsection such as 1.1.1 evolution of information technology in banking. That should be a level 3 heading or heading 3 style. Now we go to Microsoft Word and see how it is implemented. We open our saved file, which is my report, and as you can see we have two sections to that report, and we are not going to know that we have two sections, but if we look at it carefully, we see that we have the Roman 1 in section 1 and the Arabic 1 in section 2, and the point is that this section should hold the contents of our preliminary entries, and then the second section, section 2, should hold the main work. So we are going to type the level 1 headings in this section. And by the way, you may have the level 1 heading can be in this form. If we go to how it is written in some institutions, you see that this is how we are going to see it. Maybe chapter 1 written as chapter 1 with this chapter in words and the one in figure. But in the university where I work, everything is typed in Word, and that is why you may see me typing it as chapter 1 introduction, and we may type other chapters 2 to 5 with the following titles. All these are heading 1 styles. In other institutions you may have that the chapters can extend to 6 chapters, 7 chapters, but in the university where I work, the highest number of chapters that you can have is 5. So you contain everything in your thesis report within chapters 1 to 5. Now, how do we tell Microsoft Word that these titles belong to a heading 1? Actually, what we do is select the first line and press our left button and drag down to highlight everything. Then we click on the styles group and look for heading 1, and heading 1 is there, so I click on it. Once we have clicked on level 1, heading 1, we have already told Microsoft Word that these selections that we made belong to a heading 1 style, and by doing that we have already started the process of generating our automatic table of content. So we are going to generate the table of content here in section 1. So to generate a table of content, we go to the references tab and look to the far left of the ribbon for the table of contents group, and if I click on the table of contents, we see several options come out. I'm going to select the second option and just click. You see I've generated my table of content without a problem. So if I want to add things to the body of my work, like if I want to add the heading 2 style, I can now just come back to chapter 1, for example, and type something like 1.1 background to the study. Let me change the case. Background to the study. 1.2 problem statement. 1.3 objectives of the study. I can have 1.4, 1.5 up to the number of level 2 headings that I have under chapter 1, but we can stop here just for the illustration. Now I highlight, if I want to tell Microsoft Word that these 3 lines belong to level, heading 2 style, I highlight it, I highlight the 3 lines and go to the Home tab, then look for the styles group and then expand it to find heading 2, and there is heading 2. I click it and now the entry is now registered as heading 2 style. But you can you may notice here that the numbers have the numbering of the heading styles have notoriously gone away. So let me type them back. I'm going to type them as 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So by simply typing them, they will not appear in our table of content. We need to update the table of content. So I will click anywhere in the table of content listing so that I bring out this button, update table. If I click on the button, it gives me a dialog box to select from whether I want to update the page numbers only or update the entire table. I'm going to go for update entire table and click. So I click OK, and you'll see that my entry has been captured in the listing of the table of contents. Similarly, if I want this title table of contents to belong to our level 1, heading 1 style, I can highlight it, go to the styles group since we are still under the Home tab, and then we now select heading 1. This becomes our heading 1. I want to appropriately make it uppercase because that is the specification of my university. And then because this is now a heading 1 style, it is not yet reflected in the listing of the table of contents. So to do that, I have to click in anywhere and then bring out this button, and then click the button to bring out the dialog box, and then select update entire table and click OK. So you'll see that the table of content the table of contents entry has been reflected in the listing of the table of contents. So that is how we go about adding things to our report gradually, and updating the table of contents as we do so. So another thing is that we may want to see that, okay, this chapter 1 here begins at the very first page, and normally all chapter titles must begin on a fresh page. So this will give us an opportunity to take this one to a fresh page. But when we do that, we can either just keep pressing the enter key up to when we take it to the next page there. But a simpler way of doing it is just to point at the chapter 2 and then go to the layout tab, and here we can click on breaks again. But this time around we are not going to use section breaks, but we are going to use page breaks, and then we are going to select page, and we now click. You'll see that the chapter 2 has moved to the second page. And if we go back to our table of content, you can see that everything is pointing to page 1 except the table of content, which is on the Roman 1. But if we click anywhere in the table to bring out the update button, we now click on the button to update the entire table. We click on OK, and you will see that now everything from the chapter 2 to everything in the under it has now moved to page 2. And that is how we keep adding things to our thesis report and then updating it as we go. I think we will stop here. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have found this video beneficial. We hope to meet in the next